I feel like I'm in heaven. This is like a little dream come true, honestly. Da Nang is dubbed as like the new Bali or like Vietnam's Bali.
And
Oh, you can
Thailand.
speak Korean too?
Yeah, a little, a little.
Oh, Japanese too?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Thai?
Yeah.
Wow.
สวัสดีค่ะ
Wow, wow, wow. My bike, the lights don't fucking work. So I'm going like pretty damn slow. And every turn I'm just like honking my horn, praying to God no one hits me. You know, other than the beautiful beaches here in Da Nang, there's actually another thing that shocked me and surprised me. You know, just like gambling, you never know, you might hit the jackpot. And I think I did here. This has got to be what every single Canadian dreams of during the winter, escaping the snow and slush to this. So we're in Da Nang on the peninsula overlooking the beaches, and apparently in Vietnam you don't need a license to ride a bike under 50cc. So my hotel had like a service to rent a bike for a day for 150 VND, and I got this baby, and here we are. This is heaven. For the longest time, there's been something on my bucket list, is to rent a car on the West Coast and drive it up along the coast in Cali. Never got to it yet, but I think this kind of satisfies that checkbox. I think this bike ride alone has totally made my trip here in Da Nang. If you come to Da Nang, I definitely recommend doing this. And even if you never rode a bike before, like a motorcycle, I never rode one before. This is literally my first time. It's pretty easy. If you rode like an e-bike, it's about the same. As long as you're careful and, you know, out here in the mountains, there's not much traffic, so it's not bad really. And honestly, to just do this alone, I would recommend to come to Da Nang. Just to do this. I don't think anywhere else in the world, in any country, you can ride a bike without a license and have this beautiful scenery. Yeah, it's not like a full-on motorcycle. It's just like a Vespa scooter type thing. And I think it only goes up to like 60 kilometers per hour. So it's really not bad. You know, worst case scenario, if you do fall, it's not that fast. So you'll be fine. I did like do some Google searches on this beforehand, like whether or not you need a license to ride a bike in Vietnam under 50cc, and Google gave me like a bunch of mixed answers, but the people I asked here in Da Nang said it's totally fine, you can, and you know, worst case scenario, you can like slide the police officer like a couple bucks and he'll let you go. But just to be careful, I'm gonna upload this video after I'm out of Vietnam. So I just got finished eating here. It's called Barrett Urban Zone, and it's kind of interesting because it's like a little bit like of a gentrified area of Da Nang. But like a lot of Da Nang is gentrified, to be honest, but still. So here you have like a lot of different restaurants, like a lot of outdoor eating, and a lot of it is like Western food, but there's actually a lot of like Korean restaurants here too, like even like a Korean beauty clinic here. And then here is a Chinese style barbecue, I think. Korean or Chinese, I'm not sure. But this area, I think it's like called En Duong, and it's like actually known to be like an expat area, I think. And there's actually quite a lot of Korean stuff, more than, you know, like typical Western businesses, which was really surprising to me. Inside here, it's like a huge open area. A lot of it looks closed, but I came here one night and there's a lot of like different bars and restaurants here. and it's kind of like a food court vibe. But it's really interesting because we don't really have stuff like this in Canada, especially if it's like a food court concept, but like for bars. Like, yeah, we have food courts, but not like bars. Yeah, a lot of Da Nang is gentrified, I feel like, but this area, this like little plaza outdoor eating area, stood out to me. It's actually really nice here. Here's another like Korean spa. I'm not sure if it's actually like a Korean business, but a lot of the business here have like Korean characters on the outside, and some of them also have Chinese too, but most of them is just like Korean and Vietnamese and English. Even have a shawarma spot, I think. Not shawarma, I think like Turkish food actually. Kebab. Yeah, Turkish kebab house and Mediterranean cuisine. So a lot of variety here actually. Really surprising. Even an Indian restaurant, that's crazy. There's actually a lot of Indian tourists here too. Korean and Indian tourists make up the most, actually, the majority. It's actually like the first time I've been to another country and most of the tourists are not Chinese. You know, typically it's majority Chinese because, you know, there's like almost 2 billion Chinese people on earth, so they're bound to make up a big majority of those groups. If anyone's from Da Nang and they know how old that place is, like that Barrette urban zone is, let me know. Because it seems to be like a lot of stuff in Da Nang is like brand new. Like right behind me, there's a big high-rise building being built, and then like a couple of other like small houses. Just construction everywhere in Da Nang. Like even this convenience store market has Korean characters on the outside, and I'm totally not used to that. You know, usually businesses will cater to Chinese tourists, but it's totally different here. Koreans are taking over. So I was riding my bike and I had to make a stop because I saw this all along the street. It's redevelopment. And it's really good to see that it's happening in this side of town, which is like the very far west side, way past the airport. And you can see this long ass road over there. They're working on it as we speak. They're putting in new pavers. And on that side, it's kind of finished, and you can kind of see the finished product. It's a like white stone, and it's just something small, but I think it's really cool to see. I feel like I'm in heaven. This is like a little dream come true, honestly. Feels like I'm in Initial D. There's like 2 hairpin turns on this mountain. There's a lot more than this, but man, if you come to Da Nang, just riding a bike will make the trip worth it. You don't even have to go to the beaches. This dude's a friggin' trooper. You have to be here in person to feel how steep it is. This guy's crazy. Currently on a little hike up the mountain, and I'm not even like halfway there. I had the option to rent the bike at the checkpoint, but I thought it was just gonna be like a short little walk. I think it's gonna take like half an hour. Regrets. There was like a turn shortly after the checkpoint, and so I couldn't see how long like it went down, like how far it went down, but after it was just like a long straight road, and that's when I knew I fucked up. That's okay. Only sometimes. We'll treat this as exercise, because I don't exercise at all nowadays. I think these are sheep or goats. Goats, yeah. Sheep would have like wool, right? These are goats. I didn't know goats live up so high. I know there's like mountain goats, but those like look very different from these, right? Wow, and they don't care at all. You can walk up so close to them. Even the monkeys here, they're like the pigeons in New York City. They'll literally walk right beside you, or like they won't move out of your way. They're not even scared at all. I just asked a dude that was like walking back down how far it is, and he said like 2 hours. I think he was messing with me though. I checked on Google Maps, it says like 20 minutes. Maybe not to like the peak, but like one of the main lookout spots. But if we don't reach anything soon, might have to like hitchhike. Okay, there's another dude coming down. Let's ask him. Hi, how far is it to go? Do you think? Do you know?
I think you've come this far, you might as well do
Might
it.
as well?
Yeah.
Is it really bad?
I think it's about a kilometre.
A kilometer.
Honestly,
How
I
long?
got to this point and I thought, oh no. But I went, it worth it. See, once you have the
'Cause
rest
you're
at the top,
here.
and you can get ice creams.
Oh,
cold
there's
drinks.
stuff at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
top.
yeah.
Okay.
There's a guy with a.
Okay, that makes it a bit better. There's a little price.
It'll be worth it. It'd be a shame to come this far and
Yeah, that's
just
what
not
I'm
do
thinking.
Extra.
This is about halfway, right?
Oh, you're beyond halfway.
Beyond halfway?
Oh,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay. That's
yeah,
good then.
Yeah, I'd say about a kilometre. Yeah.
Okay. If I'm beyond halfway, then I think I can do it. All right.
Well beyond that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Cheers. I'm too goddamn tired to film, but I gotta do it for record. I didn't cheat. We're almost at the top. I didn't hitchhike. Let's go. So, caught my breath and made it to the top. Well, kinda. There's still a little bit more to go there after. But here, there's like a little rest stop. Got a little shop there. And a bit disappointed to say that the view is not that great because it's kind of like smoggy. I don't know if it's the pollution or like just like fog or like haze. But the view like walking up was, I'd say, like pretty worth it, even though like it's not that nice up here. And I was having lunch with one of my friends that's also in Danang, and he said apparently this place at the top is a military base. I don't know why they let people get so close to it. Okay, so apparently we are allowed to keep walking, but there's like a barrier at the end of the road. So we'll walk until then. But yeah, really weird that they would let you walk straight up to the doorstep of a military base. You know, I think it makes sense to have some like buffer zone, right? At least like a kilometer away from the base. Well, I guess the checkpoint was that, but like you're still letting people like walk on foot up right up to the entrance. I am planning to get a ride back down though, because the sun's gonna set soon and I want to keep exploring before the sunlight's gone. But if I can't get a ride, I think walking down won't be as bad. I think this is the end. I don't think I can walk past, but let's ask this guy. Looks like a construction site, to be honest. I don't know if you can see the piles of dirt. No? Okay. Thank you. Yeah, there's like piles of dirt. It doesn't look like a military base, to be honest. Looks like they're building condos. But that's the end. This is the very top. I have no idea what this mountain is called. we'll call it a military base mountain. Successfully hitched a ride back down, and now it's time to find our bike in this sea of scooters. Jesus Christ, there's a huge indent from my sunglasses. Oh my god. Right now I'm in the mountains in the middle of nowhere. Had like a little pit stop. It's the craziest thing I've ever done. I'm like driving up the mountain. It's pitch black, there's no lights, and my bike, the lights don't fucking work. So I'm going like pretty damn slow. And every turn I'm just like honking my horn, praying to God no one hits me. This is by far the craziest thing I've ever done, but I'm 100% gonna remember it for a long time. I just wish I came to this side of Danang when there's still sunlight. I didn't know the roads were so nice here. It's just like pure mountain, like, and it's pretty wide, but like at night obviously it's a bit more dangerous. It's much better than the peninsula that's closer to the beach, because that's just like a little short ride, but here it's like it just goes on forever. And I don't know, I don't have much time left in Danang. Tomorrow I have like 2 days left, but I got stuff to do and after I'm leaving. So maybe I'll leave this for the next time I come back to Danang, because I really think Danang and Hanoi, I think I would come back again for a second time, because I really do like it. So pray to God, pray for me that I get back down to the bottom of the mountain where there's still, well, not still, where there's lights again and civilization. Alright. I lied, I kept going just a little bit more. You know, just like gambling, you never know, you might hit the jackpot. And I think I did here. You could see the view like pretty perfectly. There's no light pollution. Because I was at that pit stop just over there with the lights. And because of the lights, you can't see anything at all. But here is like perfect. Yes, sir, I sure do. Alright, we safely made it back into the city. I'm exhausted. My wrist is like killing me. I don't know how people ride scooters every day, like, because you really have to be like gentle and like control your wrist like to the T. Like if you move it too much, you might like accelerate really fast and crash into somebody. But then sometimes you have to like cruise slowly, so you gotta keep it at like a really like weird angle. And I guess maybe because I'm not used to riding a scooter and doing that motion, it just kills after. I don't know. Riding a scooter like maybe a few times in the week for fun, I can do, but I don't know if I can do it every day. But yeah. This is how Danang looks like at night. Got a nice canal, and there's some like cruise boats down there. I had no idea they had that here actually. So it's not just, you know, like an expat village. It's a little bit of like a city life here too, but nothing too crazy. I think I'm gonna grab some food and then call it a day. So I'm here at Marble Mountain, and if you're a fan of Chinese mythology and you've watched those TV dramas that are set in the ancient time periods and like fantasy themed, or maybe even just played Black Myth Wukong, then this place will make you feel like you're literally in the game. These caves are just insane. It's hard to believe that it's all natural.
It is like this, like this.
This place is very touristy, tons of tourists here, but it's pretty worth it. I mean, it's not too far away from the beaches in Danang, and it's really cheap to get in, so it doesn't hurt to come. Went the wrong way, but made my way back, and we are going to check out the rest of the place. It's kind of confusing, to be honest.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I love it when you have these like attractions, you know, within the city where you don't have to do like a full one-day excursion and dedicate a full day. You can kind of go to these places on a limb, and it's not too much of a time investment. Especially sometimes, you know, when you wake up late and then you can't realistically do those full day excursions, and then you can kind of slip in small things like these. And you can still say you did something in the day. Yeah, just gonna take a breather here. Totally gassed. Holy crap. Nothing compared to the Great Wall though, I'll tell you that. You actually have to pay like 15,000 VND to take the elevator up here. But if you are planning to come here, I would definitely take it. I don't know how long or how hard the hike is up to this area, but I mean, those stairs alone got me gassed. So I can't imagine if I walked up here and didn't take the elevator. I don't know if you guys just saw that, but I didn't get clothesline right there, but I think earlier today I was like walking into a restaurant, and then this kid and her mom were holding hands, and they took up like the whole space in the hallway, and they just like barely clotheslined me. The kid didn't want to let go of his mom's hand, and I don't know what to do. I just stood there. I was gonna like duck under, but like it was at like a weird height where I would basically have to like go prone to get under. It's like it was too low for me to duck under and like crawl. I mean, not crawl, like squat, but it was also too high where if I tried jumping over, I might eat shit. Before coming here, I thought it was just like one massive cave, but there's actually like multiple different like smaller caves throughout this mountain. Yeah, like straight up, man, this makes me feel like I'm in Black Myth Wukong, or some like mythical, like Chinese mythology TVB drama. Wow, just take that in. It looks so picturesque. But the nice thing is, in Da Nang, the weather right now is absolutely perfect. It's not humid at all. It's not too hot. It's just like hovering 24, 25 degrees. And so the hike up here is not too bad, I gotta say. Literally perfect weather. I just realized why this place might be called Marble Mountain. This whole time, the steps were marble. That's crazy. Well, I think this is marble, right? Well, I'm not like a rock expert, but this looks like marble to me. I'm not looking forward to that. Looks like a sharp cutoff there, but we went up like maybe like 8 flights of stairs. I just realized That elevator might have been a scam. It only brings you up like 10% of the way. And after that, there's like a lot more to go. And you can see how goddamn steep these stairs are. It just makes it all that much more of a workout. These stairs are like 90 degrees. I don't know how to put it into words, but it's steep as fuck. And my foot barely fits on the step. We can do it. Oh God. Holy crap, I didn't know they had cactuses in Vietnam. To be honest, I don't know if the hike up here is worth the view. That's kind of yeah, but I mean, this side is a bit better. But still, it's not that nice, I would say. Maybe that's because I can use the elevator in my hotel and get up to the roof and see the ocean from there. So there's no need for me to hike up so high. Yeah, I think you can skip hiking up those mountains and just come to see the caves. I have a feeling if you ever watch The Forbidden Kingdom, there's a scene where Jackie Chan fights Jet Li in the cave. I think they got some inspiration from this place. I think this cave might take first place over that cave I went to in Ha Long Bay. So, because I have hairy legs, pretty protected from mosquitoes, except for my goddamn ankles. It's fucking itchy as hell. And I don't know if you guys get this too, but after I get like mosquito bites, I end up with like a nipple in the spot for like a while. I don't know why. I got it on this side too. You see that nipple? So I just did this like really small hike up here to this pagoda. And turns out I didn't have to do that big ass hike up the mountain. It's the same exact view. Good morning. Well, not morning, actually afternoon. Did some work in the morning and gonna grab lunch right now before we walk around this area of An Thuong. Man, even like I think like I'm like 20 videos in and I still get a bit of anxiety filming in public. So this is a street I'm staying at. Before I was staying like right next to the beach, but randomly the prices got like 2 times more expensive, so I had to switch my hotel. It is this one. It's called Palazzo Cozy Hotel. It's actually like dirt cheap compared to the one I was staying before. It's like I think 30 bucks Canadian per night. It's not that nice, but like for that price, like you can't complain really. And right now, I'm just gonna go grab a burger that I had last night after we said goodbye. It's honestly like one of the best burgers I've ever had. And I had no idea that would happen in Vietnam, you know, out of all places. I know in Vietnam, you know, you should be eating Vietnamese cuisine, but I don't know. The burger is pretty damn good. Plus, I still have like a bit of PTSD from the food poisoning a couple weeks back, but I'm slowly easing back into it. Like a couple days ago, I had pho so I'm getting there. In this area of Da Nang especially, there's like so many digital nomads and expats and solo travelers. Like you can see, like there's so many tables, just one person solo dining. It's crazy. It's really rare to see in other cities, you know, but in Da Nang it's pretty common. So yeah, I've been making like a good amount of videos already. Like I made a good amount of videos already. And no, it might not seem like I have anxiety or I don't care about filming in public. Truth is, I do. And before, like, this is a story for another time, but TLDR, I had like really, really bad social anxiety before. You know, I think I had a bit of trouble starting up the vlog here today because I'm around a lot of other English speakers. So I don't know, I just feel like I'm being like judged and watched like really hard if I'm around other English speakers. But like when I'm in another country where they don't speak English, it's kind of like they don't know what I'm saying anyway, so I don't need to worry. But in Da Nang, especially this expat area, everybody speaks English, so I don't know. It's a unique situation. And this is the place. It's called Roadhouse American Diner. I really recommend this place, honestly. Again, I'm not a food vlogger, but I really gotta show this place off. I mean, like, it's one of the best burgers I've honestly had, and for the price, I gotta show that. That's crazy, considering it's one of the best I've ever had. This is like, for like a single, this is under $5 Canadian. A double is about $6 Canadian. Here it is in all its glory. Last night I actually forgot to get the one with cheese, but it was still like really good already. So I'm really excited to see how this is gonna be. Just straight vibes here. This is like one of my favorite songs. If you know, you know. Yeah, really recommend this place. Super good, but let's keep moving. I don't think I like gave Da Nang or like this video in general like a little introduction. I gotta get onto the street because I kind of assumed a lot of people know about it now. It's like super popular all over social media. But Da Nang is dubbed as like the new Bali, or like Vietnam's Bali, because there's so many digital nomads here. It's hot, tropical, it's got beaches, and everything here is dirt cheap. Hotels, massages, you know, massage parlors everywhere. There's one right there. And the food, like, there's food from all over the world. You don't have to just eat Vietnamese food. I think, well, I've never been to Bali, but I think Bali is the same case. You know, you got everything. So it's like really perfect for, you know, expats. Get a taste of home a bit, you know? Yeah, tons and tons of different options. Mexican food, and there's so many Korean barbecue spots here. And again, it's super cheap too, like, and the quality is pretty damn good. Let's walk down this street. A lot of these smaller streets in this neighborhood, An Thuong, are like paved very nicely, like with these stone interlocking pavers. Different from like the regular asphalt streets. I think they really want to make this place nice because it is like an expat area. Yeah, tons of spas and massages. You can get a massage for like $5 Canadian. Another vlogger there. And I think, you know, Da Nang part of the reason why it's so popular nowadays. From what I hear, like Bali is kind of becoming overran. And same with Bangkok, Thailand. It's kind of like overpopulated with expats. Where, oh, and that's the famous bun bao guy. Literally 24/7, there's this guy on the bike with a recorded like announcement playing back and forth like over and over, selling buns. It's like a meme of Da Nang. But what was I talking about? Yeah, so I think from what I heard, like part of the reason is Bali and Bangkok is kind of getting overran, and you kind of lose the actual local culture that was there originally, and it just turns into like a full-on gentrified area. That, and I think the prices are starting to rise too because there's so many expats. It's like, why not raise the prices, right? They can afford it. And I think it's kind of true. From my own experience, I just booked my hotel in Bangkok, and compared to what I get in Da Nang for the same amount I paid, it's the value is way better here. Originally, I was just gonna go from Saigon to Bangkok, but I wanted to like chill at like a beach city for a bit, and I thought Bangkok had beaches, but turns out they don't. You have to go to Pattaya. So I think that's one other thing Da Nang has over Bangkok is the proximity to beaches and mountains too. I was really surprised that there's so many mountains around here, and it's really easy to rent a bike. I think even this one is a bike rental place, is it? But yeah, it's like, oh, over here. It's a bike rental place. It's really easy to rent a bike and just go cruising in the mountains, or maybe not the mountains, just along the coast. It's so nice. Again, just showing the options here. You have an izakaya here, and right across from it is a Indian restaurant. Tons of Indian restaurants here too, because a lot of Indian tourists come to Da Nang as well. When you're in Da Nang, you'll notice that there's a lot of construction. Not as much as Toronto, because Toronto is just crazy. It has like the most construction cranes up right now in all of North America. But it is pretty hectic here as well. On almost like every street, there's a new building being built, sidewalks being paved. So tons of development going on here. This is like one of the main intersections of this area. Right here is like two pubs right next to each other. And I think this one at night always has some live music. So it gets pretty rowdy. Every time I've passed by this intersection, it's just completely packed, even on a weekday. So it gets pretty lit here. And speaking of massages, this is the place I got my first massage in Da Nang. For guess how much? $5 Canadian. And across from it is another massage place. You actually have 3 massage places on this intersection, completely taken over. And I think it's like one same owner, so they have like a monopoly on this area. And at night they'll usually have tons of people getting massages, and there'll be like a worker cold calling you, walking up to you, asking you if you want a massage. And I saw the price, and it was not bad, so I got a massage. But then afterwards, I kind of totally forgot how much it was. And then when I went to pay, and she told me it was 100,000 VND, I was like, you gotta be serious, right? That's crazy. I thought she made a mistake. Like 100,000 VND for a massage. It's unheard of. Just another look at the amount of construction. There's an empty lot over there. It's probably gonna have a new hotel soon. But there's one being built right now. And we're actually here a few days ago. But over here, this was like the Barrett urban zone that we were at earlier in the vlog. And it's starting to drift away from the main expat digital nomad area, but still a lot of like international restaurants and businesses. I don't know how long ago this kind of like construction boom started here in Da Nang, but I can imagine in just maybe 1 year, Da Nang's gonna look totally different. A lot of the intersections and streets are gonna be pretty unrecognizable. And I'm pretty sure it's just gonna continue to trend that way because of how popular Da Nang is getting and already is. And I've recently heard that I think it surpassed Bangkok in terms of tourists this year. If not, maybe tied, or maybe, sooner or later, they're gonna surpass them or tie with them. But after hearing that, it actually gave me an idea for my next video, so look out for that one. To kind of figure out like what the situation really is in Bangkok and Thailand in general. Is tourism really like trending downwards? One, two, three, 4 Korean businesses in this area. I think it's also known as a Korean district as well. But you might be wondering, where the hell is the beach? That's what Da Nang is famous for. Well, it's actually like right beside us, but this wall is blocking the view. So we're gonna head over there right now. Again, there's so many solo travelers here. A lot of people just here alone, chilling on the beach. That is probably gonna be a pretty expensive hotel. Well, probably not too expensive because it's Da Nang after all. I'm wearing shoes, so gotta be super careful walking on the beach. Don't want to get a bunch of sand in my shoes. One thing I did notice is a lot of the beach is kind of like restricted with these no swimming signs. I guess they don't have enough lifeguards, or I don't know. Over there is a little peninsula, and that's where we actually started the vlog. I rode my bike there, and honestly, that alone made the trip. So if you're like really time limited and you don't have that much time, I definitely recommend going there and renting a bike because it's really close by. But if you really want something, a level above that, then I would go to the Hai Van Pass. It's a bit further, like half an hour, but the views are insane. Like if you really want to feel like you're carving mountains, then I would go to the Hai Van Pass because it goes up so high and the roads are like super windy. And all along this beach, I think it's My Khe Beach, there's a lot of these lounge chairs. You can pay like $3 Canadian and get a towel where you can put it over and then chill. But I'm actually really surprised that there's not like a single shop here that sells like volleyballs or like floaty tubes or like a little paddle board. Nothing. Not a single one. If I were to start a business here, I think that would be a really good idea because it's basically, there's no competition. And if you watched my Qingdao video, when I was walking on the coastline, remember I said I was really disappointed? Well, not disappointed, but like kind of like shocked that there's like basically no buildings. But this is what I think Qingdao should look like. You know, it's China after all. Like almost everywhere is like really developed, but surprisingly, the coastlines in Qingdao, not really. There's only like 1 or 2 hotels. I mean, you would think, you know, Chinese people are really business-minded. They would see that opportunity and want to build a hotel along the coast, right? It's like prime real estate. But maybe, I don't know, there's some like government restrictions. But in a way, it is kind of good because from the rest of the city, you could still see the beach. But, you know, before when we were walking over in the Antong area, basically you can't see the beach at all because all the buildings are covering it. You know, other than the beautiful beaches here in Danang, there's actually another thing that shocked me and surprised me here, and it's at the Chohan Market. It's a pretty like touristy area, but I think it's really worth it to check out, especially because of something really interesting I found there. So let's go see what it is. I went there already earlier in the week, but honestly have to double back for this one because it's pretty crazy and shocking. Hi, yes. Yeah, xin chào. Hello. Yep, yeah. Yeah, there's still a lot of vacant land here in Danang. There's tons of room for growth. Back there, that was like literally right against the coast. It's like prime real estate. And on the other side, I forgot to film it, but there's already like big Nobu residences being built. Oh, that's actually the office. Wow, bad timing. I don't know if you saw it on the camera, but yeah, Nobu residences. We actually have one that was just completed in Toronto, and it's like a luxury residence. So, you know, same principle with Lateria and Wasing Bingsat, you know, if a luxury like builder, company, whatever, is building here, then that's got to tell you something. So over here in the Hai Chau district of Danang, away from the beaches and the resorts, is a bit more city-like and kind of resembles a bit of Saigon. Obviously not as bustling, but it is noticeably a lot busier here. You'll start to hear a lot more honking sounds. And over there is the Chohan Market. So I'm not gonna tell you guys yet what the thing that surprised me about this market is, because after all, it's YouTube and I gotta keep the retention rate up. So it is like a typical touristy market. A lot of the stuff is like exactly the same, all the souvenirs. There's a lot of snacks here, instant coffee. I did come here like earlier in the week and it was way more busy than this. I'd say 5 times the amount of people. I don't remember if I came on a weekend though, or a weekday, but yeah, totally a different vibe. But of course I kind of preferred this, because you know, when it's way too crowded, of course it's nice to have some like energy, you know, but when it's way too crowded, it's like you can't even like stop and look at stuff, because you just got to keep the traffic going. If you decide to stop while it's busy, you're basically blocking like an entire lane of people trying to get by. Like I was saying, the exact same stuff, all just like instant coffee. But what I found here, I think is an example of, even though like places are labeled as very touristy areas, sometimes they're still worth to check out. And we'll find out exactly what I mean by that upstairs in the second level where they sell all the clothes and replica stuff. But if you did notice, and maybe if you have like good hearing, I don't know how well the mic's gonna pick it up, then you'd hear a lot of Korean people here. And that is exactly what shocked me about this market, is not the Korean tourists, but the people who run these stalls and stores speak Korean. Yeah, that's right, they speak Korean. They're not Korean, but they learned Korean because of the amount of tourists here. I'm talking about like full-on conversations, like they're basically conducting the deal in Korean and trying to make a deal in Korean. It's like really cramped and squished here, so I apologize in advance. The camera angles aren't going to be like perfect. I'll try my best. Yeah, basically how squished it is now. When I came the first time, it was like 2 to 3 times more squished and crowded. There you go. We got them in action. I don't understand like that much Korean, but I can understand like the numbers, and like when they're saying won and manun or something like that, is like man is like 10,000. See, they're talking to her in Korean. They're not even bothering trying to talk in English, because she can understand. 23만 won. And if I can remember my Korean, I think that's like 230,000.
What do you mean?
Where did she learn Korean? How?
Because she work here, she speak Korean. Yeah.
Just learn here, working here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you're working here, you know Korean language, Korea.
Oh. When she talked with the tourists.
Maybe also first in Korea, first in Thailand. Many people here working here.
Oh. Does she watch Korean drama, K-drama?
Yeah.
Did you learn like that?
Yeah.
So you can speak English and Vietnamese.
No, yeah, you can speak a little English, the Korean, Japan.
Oh, you can speak Korean too.
Yeah, a little.
Oh. Japanese too?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Out here hustling. There's like 5 or 6 different languages. Insane. I think this ties Osh Bazaar in Kyrgyzstan as one of like the most like crowded, like squished, cramped markets I've ever been to. This is like about like 1 body, maybe 2 body wide of a walkway. And this is worse. I literally had to like slip through this to get by. But I absolutely like love stuff like this. I'm not complaining. But when it's crowded, then it's a bit of a different story. Yeah, if you notice, I'd say 70 to 80% of the people here, like customers, are Korean. See, it's not just like 1 or 2 shopkeepers that speak Korean here. Like, majority of the people who work here, I'd say, can speak a little bit of Korean. And it's absolutely amazing. I've never seen anything like that before. You know, Chinese, I've heard, you know, like a lot of like different ethnicities being able to speak Chinese. It's pretty popular now. But Korean, that is crazy. you know, Chinese is like, it's popular for different ethnicities to be able to speak it because there's so many Chinese people around the world, and you know, the country is a lot bigger and it's just involved in a lot of different things internationally. But Korea being such a small country, small in landmass and, you know, population, for them to have this like type of influence on another country is absolutely crazy. And, you know, I think this is an example, along with, you know, the amount of development that's happening in Da Nang, just proof that, you know, Da Nang is developing at a crazy pace where they're adapting to what they're given and making the best out of it. You know, you get a bunch of digital nomads and expats coming to Da Nang. We build hotels, we build resorts, we build, you know, international cuisine, catering, right? You get a lot of Korean tourists. We learn Korean. It's not a very big market, but the amount that they cramp into this small space makes it feel like a pretty big market. So that's exactly why you come and visit touristy and non-touristy areas whenever you go traveling, because sometimes you'll find things like this. So yeah, sure, the Chohan market has Korean-speaking shopkeepers, but that's because, you know, it's a tourist hotspot for Koreans. And then Antuang, that's a Korean district. But even in this like kind of main downtown area of Da Nang, there's still like Korean characters, Korean businesses sprinkled all throughout this area. And I really gotta say, I thought it was just like Saigon and Hanoi being big cities and main cities, that they would have really nice architecture and really nice cafes, right? But even here in Da Nang, just look at this cafe. This building looks like it's straight out of like Ginza in Japan or Gangnam in Seoul. Like Canada and America really needs to step up their design game. I'm gonna like put a picture of what like a typical like strip mall or like plaza looks like in Canada compared to this, and then you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. I have no idea how this clip is gonna fit like chronologically in the rest of the vlog, because this whole vlog is kind of like unorganized, and I filmed it over like the span of the entire week, so it's like different clips from different days. But I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. But to conclude everything, I think Da Nang is really, really on the come up. Like, you can see the amount of development and you know, the situation in other countries contributing to the success of Da Nang. And even like just like geographically, there's so much vacant land here. There's literally so much room for growth and improvement. It's really on the come up. And I think I definitely would come back here. Here in Hanoi, Saigon wasn't really my cup of tea, but I think definitely I would come back to see the rest of Da Nang, because there is a lot more to Da Nang than just the beaches. You know, there's the mountains and the city. It's not just like a beach town. There's city to it too. Not like crazy bustling city, but there's something to it. And even Bonnet Hills with the big god hands, there's a lot more to do. And so maybe in the future I'll come back here and check it out. But for now, I'm gonna end the vlog here. But it's not the end of Da Nang. There's another Da Nang video coming up in 2 weeks after this video, so look out for that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.